All right, now we're going to go through the Alerts tab in Aware GPS. So just come up here to the top, click the Alerts little bell icon thing. Yeah, there's only three different things that you can do here. So you go to the Alerts list. This is just a reporting tab. Let you know how many alerts you got and when you got them. So let's just check yesterday. Um, I want to know all of them. I want to know all of those. And I want to know all of those. How many alerts did we get? Charlie got 4. David got 21. What was David doing? Let's see here. Oh, that's why, yeah, Charlie only had 4 because his tracker was kind of acting squirrely yesterday. I had to actually ask him to unplug his and then plug it back in because it was having some connection issues. It is not showing me these. There it goes. Finally gave me my drop down. So these are all the alerts that he got throughout the day and when he got them. So starting in the morning, idle, ignition, idle, geofencing, idle, braking, etc., 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 etc. He's getting some braking alerts. So this is one of those that he's hitting the brakes a little bit harder than normal, probably more often than some. Need to call him and let him know that hey, quit hitting the brakes so hard. He's probably doing it and he doesn't even know he's doing it. Doesn't feel like he's doing it, but it is. Um, like Scott likes to say, you know, you may not feel like you're hitting the brakes, but according to our GPS system, you're the only one that's hitting your brakes that often. So means you probably are. But yeah, now this just gives you a really short, quick, easy way to see what alerts they actually have going on. Here's Israel's 37, high speed, high speed. There it is. These are those ones when he's trying to get to work early, and he was over on I-20 and Lyndon B. Johnson. This does happen. We don't, speeding is no exception, but sometimes it is going to happen. Just address it with the technicians and let them know. Slow down. You're going too fast. I know we live in Dallas and people like to move quick sometimes, but you're in a company truck and people like to take advantage of that fact. So they will call in on you. So need to call him, tell him, hey, slow down a little bit. I know it was only through this one little time period, but even I know you're in a hurry to get to work. If you're in that big of a hurry to get to work, leave earlier. Um, and that's really all you can do with that situation. Hold them accountable. That's it. That's just a quick way to actually reference alerts. Then you have your alert settings. Speeding threshold is 10 miles per hour. That's how much leeway they have. 10 miles per hour over the speed limit. The high speed threshold is 75 miles per hour. We have it at 75 because freeways, being on I-20, people are going to be going 70, 75 miles an hour. So if they go over that speed, it's going to tell us that there's a high speed threshold alert. It's going to trigger. Idling threshold is 5 minutes. I set that at 5 minutes, so that means that they've started their truck and they're not moving anywhere. They have 5 minutes of sitting in their truck filling out paperwork before it triggers an idle alert. We don't want somebody sitting on a job site for 10, 15 minutes in their truck, soaking up the air conditioning, burning up gas, doing nothing. They need to get into the truck, get their paperwork done, wherever it is that they need to get done, and they need to move on down the road, get to their next job. If they sit there for too long, we'll know if they're not turning their truck off, especially if they're not turning their truck off when they get to a job. They're just letting it run. Enable check engine alerts on maps. I have that there because it's easy to access. Do not use this enable posted speed alerts. There's so much construction all the time. It's impossible for that to be correct at any given point. The map will be crisscrossing and the satellites will be all wrong, and it'll supposed to be 65 miles an hour, but it's 30 right now, or it's not 30 and it is 65, and the alarms are just going off like crazy because they're going 35 miles an hour over the speed limit right now. It's never correct. It's never updated enough with Google Maps to keep up with the amount of construction that's going on, so just keep that turned off. Earlier in another one, I believe it was in the reports. Yeah, in the reports tab, we went over the authorized hours. This is it. I have it set from 6 a.m. so they can leave nice and early, and they have until 7 o'clock to get done. Sometimes they get home a little bit later, and that gives us a few unauthorized hours. For the most part, it's not a problem, but it lets me know that mostly did they take their truck to the bar. Did they drive it somewhere after hours, late at night, and they weren't supposed to? Anytime they use a truck after hours, they got to get the permission for it. Some people have a car and maybe they want to move a piece of furniture or something, and it's really helpful. We don't mind being helpful and letting them use it for certain specific items, but they got to ask for permission, because if it triggers after 7 p.m., they're going to be getting a phone call asking what they're doing with our vehicle. Now on Saturday, I have it from 6 to 3. It's really rare that anybody works after 3 o'clock on a Saturday. Sunday, they're not supposed to be using it at all. We don't work on Sundays. So that's it. You can just modify it from here. You can add more, like little sub ones, if you want to have multiple time frames throughout one day on Monday. You can group them, maintenance and service. They can have their own. Maintenance can have their own authorized hours. Service can have their own authorized hours. You can create other groups, like office can have their own authorized hours, and then you can have sub areas. So it's authorized from 7 to 10, and then it's unauthorized from 10 to 2, and then from 2 to 4 it is authorized again. A whole bunch of weird, crazy stuff that you can do. I haven't needed to set it up that way, so I haven't, but this is where you would go to make that happen. And then, of course, the time zone, which we're central. And then we have our notification set up. These are already set as far as like a daily report and immediate action. So every day we get a report in our email. All of these emails get a daily report that tells us what went on. We're monitoring everything. I'll just go here. I'll edit it. Notification type, daily report. Trackers, all of them. I want to have all the information about all these. And then what do I want to know on my daily report? Everything. Was it tampered with? Did they use the truck outside of the corresponding hours? Where were they at in our geofences? Did they brake hard? Every day I'm going to get a report at these emails, which I can actually get rid of some of these. They're not needed. There we go. Every day these people are going to get a report about these technicians in regards to these issues. And I'm going to get this every day, once a day, for the day before, for the previous day. I can get it immediately at the time of the event, an hourly summary, but I just want it every single day for the day before. And that is it. I don't use the mobile app notifications. We just do the email notifications. It's just easier to deal with whenever it's not constantly going to your cell phone. Just have it get sent to your email, and you can add new emails and stuff in here as needed. So we'll hit save, and that's it. That is the daily report, and then we have the immediate report. So immediate actions. I want to know what's going on with all the technicians in regards to these things. So did they get to SCP? Is there no GPS signal? Has something gone wrong with the actual piece? Is it not working? Say they unplugged it and it's been unplugged for too long. It'll tell me it's been unplugged for too long. If they plug it back in, that's when a tamper alert will actually go off. So if they unplug it and they don't plug it back in at all, it's going to give me a no GPS signal. If they unplug it and then they plug it back in, say it was an accident or they're trying to do a reset on it or something, I'm going to know they tampered with it. I'm going to know when they started their truck for the day, and I'm going to know when they left their house and when they got to their house, when they got to the supplier. And these are immediate actions. Every time, in real time, when any of this stuff goes on, we immediately get a notification on the actual mobile app. See, this is where I use the mobile app. I'm doing this via email. It's pain because you'll get a bunch of emails. Doing it via text message doesn't seem to work very well. It just doesn't. So I don't use that. I tried it. It would take me forever to get a text, and then I would just get blown up. It wasn't in real time. So I downloaded the Aware GPS app on my phone, which we should do anyways because it's just good to have if you're not in the office. And I set an immediate frequency for these items on these technicians, and I actually chose the app. So then it works really, really fast. As soon as they get to a geofence or something like that, or as soon as they start their truck up, I get a notification, a push notification via the app on my cell phone, and it tells me what's going on. So this comes in really, really handy. You've specifically requested a technician to pick up something at SCP. you see that Israel just got the SCP. Call them. Don't forget to pick that thing up. And they're like, oh man, I totally almost forgot about that. I appreciate it. I'm so glad that you reminded me to get that thing because it was very important that they did. So makes it really really quick, really easy. That's it. Save. You can add new notifications. Same concept. Trackers. I want to know Charlie. That's it. What's going on with Charlie? Um, let's see. Actually, I'm gonna go ahead and set one up right now. Let me see, Mr. David Fitzwilson, because he likes to hit his brakes all the time. David Fitzwilson, how many times does he brake hard? I want to know immediately whenever he hits the brakes, and I want to get a mobile app notification. Now I have, boop, boop, boop. David Harsh braking report. All right, so now every time David hits the brakes excessively hard, I'm going to get a push notification from the mobile app that lets me know, so I can track that in real time. And you can just add notifications like that. You can go back and you can delete them as well. So pretty cut and dry. You can make them and remove them as you want. You're welcome to test out the text messaging one. Maybe you have better luck with it than I did. I tried the text messaging one. Did not work. It's best to just use the mobile app. That's it. That is using the alert section.